Welcome to Forever Exiled. I'm Justin, aka Tags.
And I'm Tyler, Wrecker of Days.
Episode 269 of Forever Exiled, and arguably one of the most exciting episodes ever. Because we're 1 week right now as we record.
I can guarantee that it is going to be this week. Not going to be anything like I was last week.
Oh, shush. But we are 1 week away from the largest gaming event in the history of video games. I've decided.
In the history of video, not GGG or Path of Exile, in the history of video games. You know, funny enough, I mean, we'll get into it, but the amount of the number of articles that have come across my newsfeed about Path of Exile 2
Logan
from
too.
Like the weirdest, people that don't like the weirdest sources. Everybody, and it's great for GGG. Everybody's talking about it. But yeah, it's people are really getting their hands on it just for clickbait and all that kind of stuff. I've
had people reaching out to me that have never ever played Path of Exile that I played other games for out of nowhere to ask about Path of Exile. It's exciting. It's we're 1 week from now from the day. Grand Theft Auto what? No. I don't think so. Anyway, big shout out to all of our patrons and supporters of the podcast. We love your faces. Thanks everybody who resubbed up this week. Patreon gets you access to After Dark. It is our podcast after the podcast. And I should just quickly shout out, if you're not on our Discord, you should be on our Discord. We also have a key giveaway going on right now. So if you aren't able to get your hands on a early access key, we have very generously been donated a couple keys anonymously by someone, but thank you bringing rain on Canada. But yeah, we love everybody, and I really appreciate it, and it is really cool. It's we have such an awesome community on there. So we have one key that was being given away in After Dark for some guessing, which we'll talk about in After Dark, I think, right? Are we saving that for After Dark, or are we talking about it here?
Whichever. It doesn't change anything. But yeah, we have a fun key giveaway in After Dark where we're guessing. People are guessing, and it's not what's Bob Barker is. Yeah, it's not Bob Barker rules. We're guessing how much Justin has spent lifetime with GGG.
We found a way to do it in After Dark last week. It doesn't account for a couple things, but so we were guessing to the closest, and we have a winner, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's not closest without going over. Like I said, not Bob Barker rules.
What's crazy, which for some reason is this person won by $114 away, and another person was $180 away. Like close.
I think. Yeah, but now you just gave people that haven't. People can figure that out now. They can take two guesses.
It's over.
Oh, it's over.
It's over.
It's over.
It's over.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Forget about it. So anyway, you should hop on our Discord, though. It is a super community. I just thank you to everybody who's on there. It's very, I don't know what the word would be. It's one of the best communities in the Path of Exile land. I'm convinced, though. It's very positive. It's uplifting. People are helpful. And, we like poke fun every now and then. So pop on in there, say hi. And if you haven't been able to get your hands on a key, we have 2 to give away that will be given away by Tuesday night standard Pacific time. So you can go in there and hit the participate button and announce and see if you can get it.
Yeah, and I guess on a side note, because some of the packs did come with a lot of extra keys as you go down. It's all of a sudden you're getting like 4 extra keys, 5 extra keys. So if you're in a situation where you really don't actually have, if you don't know what to do with those keys, feel free to donate them to our community, and we will, as new people come into the game. Even if it's after early access, I'm sure the keys are going to work. So feel free to donate them, and we can just give them away to the community as we see fit. And
but just to show too, just how awesome the community is, they created their own thread for people that want to give away keys. I didn't even realize that until yesterday. So, you guys, you're the best.
Yeah, that's right. And you're lucky because if you gave them to Justin, he's just going to keep them for no reason.
Play all
just going to stack them up.
I'm going to play all of them. That's right. So anyway, big thanks to everybody. And 1 week and we're playing.
It is just around the river bend. And we'll be hanging out with Talkative Try tonight, which will be nice. We'll be hanging out on his Twitch and then.
Yep. No, that's fine. It's going to be awesome. This is not my thing. He is going bananas with the thing he's doing. He's been like streaming. He sent us his schedule in the beginning, and it was like, my only thought was just why would you do that to yourself? He's talking with everyone. He's been streaming nonstop since the announcement, and I think he's streaming nonstop till like Christmas. He's taking a little break for Christmas, but
yeah,
good on him. Good on him.
Good for you, Try, and thanks for inviting us. It'll be a pleasure to talk with you again. It's always nice to hang out with you. You're pretty.
We'll have already done it by the point this comes out. But
yeah, of course,
we're doing it right before After Dark tonight. So, how's your week?
I don't know how I could do that. Like for Talk of Try, this is what the whole channel revolves around, right? Like his channel became big because it was.
He's been waiting for this moment.
So this is like the biggest moment for his channel, and he's definitely taking full advantage of it and just
the Eminem song
the go-to
playing.
Source.
Just seize your moment.
That's right.
How's your week?
So, me first. Good. Yeah. I had a good week. Kids. Oliver's been sick for the last couple of days, so he's been home from school, which sucks because, he has a fever, but he started coughing, so it'll last the weekend likely. He gets over stuff super fast, but we're still on seizure watch for him. He had them too. He's the one that we have that has been having them. It's not violent. It's Oliver.
Okay,
but he's too big for febrile seizures. But he's had some.
Still make you nervous
since the doctor thinks that he's been too big. So we're still on. Yep. He still has like seizure rules where if he's going to have a bath, which we only allow on non-school days because it takes forever. He's going to have a bath. He needs to be supervised. When we go out on vacation, he can't swim in lakes, only in pools because it's, easier to reach somebody. Can't ride his bike on busy roads, only in things like cul-de-sacs or things like that. So we're still doing that, but he hasn't had one for a while. But it's the warnings for us were. It is because it always came from fast temperature changes, not external, but internal. And so it's good. But, like part of my heart's like, I know he's just playing video games upstairs right now, but part of me is like, oh man, I'm like, I know the Tylenol and Advil times, like we're not there, but just, there's part of me that's like, I really hope he's not doing that right now. So anyway, just doing that. And thanks to Thalon, and I appreciate, I've said Thalon's name. He's been in the community for a long time, and I've said his name wrong since the dawn of time. He's even like sent me a voice recording so I could properly say it. I forget it. I don't know how to say it, but Thalon, thank you. You put a bee in our bonnet, my family's bonnet this week about robot vacuums. He was talking to me about like just in our Discord, right? Another friendly person in Discord saying like, hey, with all the difficulty of like all your concussion stuff and vacuuming, have you ever thought about a robot vacuum? And we've thought about it tons.
You mocked me for mine.
I didn't even know you had one, but yeah, I obviously would because there's no way you bought a cheap one. Okay.
I didn't, but we don't use it anymore, to be honest. It lasted like 5 or 6 years. You're right though. At the time they were newer and they were not cheap, but it did last like 5 or 6 years.
And that's awesome. So anyway, but he put the bee in our bonnet and we've always dismissed it for legitimate reasons before, but then, it was Black Friday sales and in Canada, it's not our Thanksgiving. We did. We bought.
Cool.
Well, I did tons of research throughout the week. It monopolized my week, and because I wanted to be sure. And we went cheap to see if it works for like our lifestyle and how we have the house and all that kind of stuff. But I did a lot of research nonetheless, and we ended up getting one.
Cool.
So just for about $150, it's normally. And I did, used your little app for making sure that it wasn't like a fake price drop for Black Friday. In Canada, we do like a week and a half Black Friday weeks,
seems to
even
last
though
a long time.
it's just an American thing, but because our markets are so tightly wound together,
we get the benefit.
The sale still happens. So and we've been enjoying it. And for me, like I love maps. When I ride around town, like when I'm driving around town, I always have my Google Maps up. Always. GPS is always telling me where to go. Part of that is because I might forget where I'm going. The c'est la vie, concussion life. But the other part is I just like maps. And because it's a robot vacuum with an app,
it makes one.
It has an app. It has a map of my house. So cool. And I honestly can't do. It's supposed to keep me like do work while I'm working and be more efficient.
You're just watching it.
I do less because I just watch the map. It's still too new. Like it's a new toy, right? New. So I just watch the map and I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm going to partition the house this way and see how it's different next time. Anyway, it's a lot of fun.
The worst part about those things is just kids keeping the floor clear. That was the most frustrating thing for us with it. It was like literally as it was bedtime, it was like, make sure everything's off the floor because otherwise this vacuum's not going to. It's the whole reason I didn't buy one for upstairs. I would have loved to have put one upstairs. Zero chance it would have gone through my kid's room. Zero. So
Gotcha. And
cool.
I did want to shout out just last week, quick. Last week, I was both very excited, but also quite disappointed about a few things. I was very, I listened back to the episode and I agree with everything that I said. But if I was to do last week's episode today, I would have worded it very different. I probably wouldn't have been as passionate or dramatic about certain things. And, but I just wanted the reason that I'm bringing this up is because there was a lot of feedback regarding it, and that's great and it's awesome. But I wanted to encourage people, like, if you're a long time listener, short time listener, don't feel like you can't disagree with us. Don't feel like just because we're passionate about a subject means you can have a different opinion about it. Like, feel comfortable talking to us about your opinions of the episodes or things regarding the subjects that we're saying, whether it's together or not. I don't want anybody to ever feel like we're not going to be able to just communicate with them and converse with them. And it's okay to disagree on things too, right? So anyway,
we're lucky enough to live in a place where you can disagree with people and move on from it. And I will just add to this because I know Ty, he's a lovely man, but we are just having a conversation between two buddies. And one of the things I will bring up with regards to last week, there was a comment. It was a good comment about all these things were answered in this Q&A and this FAQ and this video. That's probably true. I'm not going to watch it. I'm really excited to go into Path of Exile 2 like blind. I know only what I know from what they've put out and what we played, and that's how I want to take it on. So we are going to say some things that are wrong or probably been answered already, and that's fine. But for me personally, I'm just not going to consume all that content. I'm very excited to go into it. I remember Path of Exile 1, and I'm looking forward to that feeling of just newness and learning it as I go. And that for me is very fun. So I will say things that are probably answered already somewhere else. And that it is what it is. Like I was laughing at Tyler. We're not a source of information. You're hearing regurgitated information that we've heard in our own opinions and feelings while talking to each other. So I'm going to be wrong 100%. I'm going to say things that are not correct. So.
And we'll wonder about things that you already have answers for, but I'm going to be the same way. I'm extremely excited to go into the game blind. So this podcast is just going to be like that as we go through things. And but that's how we want it. Like, I finished watching the Q&A and
oh, did you?
I did. Yeah. I just had to be in the mood for a podcast because it wasn't really a Q&A. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I loved it. Like, it was awesome. I loved seeing them like interact with each other and just chatting. It was like 2 and a bit hours, something like that. So, you know, it's like instead of watching a movie, but it was so much fun to watch them interact and have a good time. And I enjoyed watching it as opposed to just listening to it. And so, but I also, like, if GGG doesn't put it out, even like their tweets, I'm not looking at their pictures anymore, any of that kind of stuff. I'm just like, I'm going to come across it. I want to experience it. Actually, I'll bring this up later. I still want to hear about your week, and we're starting to all of a sudden jump ahead. So tell me about your week.
My week was good-ish. So on Sunday, I learned a lesson. So I'm on a pretty strong nerve blocker, and it's been since March. We're almost pushing a year now since my fall, but I've been on this nerve blocker since then. And it takes a long time to ramp up. But for the last 2 months, I've been at the dose that we were trying to get to. But what I realized is that dose that I'm at is the maximum daily dose, but I take it twice. So I'm taking it in the morning and I take it at night. So it's a very high dose. And Sunday night, I went to bed and I was in bed and I was like, oh shit, I didn't take my pill. I should go downstairs and take the pill. And I was like, meh, I'll just take it in the morning. That was a terrible decision. I woke up at 5 a.m, cold sweating, like shaking, wow. Cold sweating. Getting myself to the bathroom was hard. Puking, aching, dizzy, couldn't see straight. Like I couldn't figure it out. And I'm in the like I'm laying on the floor in my bathroom trying to just because it was awful. And we were trying to figure out like what the heck, like I didn't eat anything weird. Like I wasn't sick. I wasn't feeling like I was sick. It was the weirdest feeling. Apparently you can, withdrawal can actually hit very, very fast because of the dosage that I'm at. And I won't be doing that again. Wow. Because but it also freaked me out because I was like, I need to get off this stuff. Like this is
good. Good. It gives you healthy respect for what you're doing and makes you kind of desperate to make
give
it
me a bit of
short-term.
drive to try and figure. I don't know. I say that, but I don't actually have any answers to that, unfortunately, yet.
Yeah,
I did
that is
get
an unfortunate part for sure.
I got a call on Monday because I was out of it Monday. I had pushed everything. I didn't do any of my meetings. I pushed everything. I couldn't do anything. But I got a call Monday night asking from our hospital if I wanted to come in the next night for my CT scan. So I was like, yeah, sure. So I went and got my CT scan done on Tuesday. And otherwise, it's just been insanely busy, like bananas busy. And I'm looking forward for it to just chill a little bit. And we do have our office party this weekend, so that will at least be fun.
Good.
Yep.
Drink up.
That's right.
Justin plus socializing equals alcohol consumption.
Yeah, mushrooms and alcohol. Those are my vices when it comes to social interaction. But yeah, so you know what? Life's good though. Overall, I'm hoping to reach out again to BC. It's frustrating. I wish I could just easily travel somewhere else to get done what I need to get done. But I'm hoping that with the CT scan and some new information, I can get this doctor to kick it up a notch. Get me in there.
Word.
Mm-hmm. And then otherwise, I haven't done much. Trying to think. I only watched one episode of Dark. I'm hoping I'll get a chance to watch the second one today. But also the second season, I was just like, I'm spoiling a tiny bit of After Dark, but I was like, 1921. Oh.
Yeah.
We'll bring it up in After Dark, but that was my first thought when that came up. I was like, oh God, I'm screwed. But you know what? The week's been good. I'm trying to think we've just been watching random stuff. Actually, we watched like Edge of Tomorrow, like an older movie with Tom Cruise. That was fun.
That's a fun one.
It was actually really good. Both of us were even laughing in it, like the amount of times that he's dying, trying to like work his way through the day. But you know what? It's just, just kids and work.
I've heard, yeah.
Yep.
I'd hate to add to your coming week, but just a reminder, I don't know if it would be safe to run the beta on the computer.
On yours? I think it will be, but we will figure it out. I will come by. We'll figure it out. I will find a time and we'll actually put it in the calendar. We'll sort some note. Okay. That's it, man. That's my week. Lawn's nothing. Lawn's actually green. It probably could have had another cut, but it's
starting December and no snow yet. So that's good. I mean, we don't normally, on an average year here, we're not getting snow till like the end of January, beginning of February, but sometimes we've had some early snow the last 2 years. Yeah, May. That's right.
It's all over the place. We have had it. You're right. We have had it early and we've had it late. It's been cold though. Yeah. It's starting to get down there.
I remember once, so I was in Lower Mainland, but I switched jobs for a moment, just temporarily for the summer. But I was driving from basically Vancouver all the way to Hamilton. And as we're driving through, it's middle of April. And as we're driving through, just about as we get to the edge close to Saskatchewan, we're in Alberta, getting to Saskatchewan, poof, just like this mini blizzard, just like throws us right off the road.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we had to get a motel for 2 nights while we waited for stuff because we didn't have the tires and anything ready. And the wind coupled with the snow was just so brutal that we didn't have the proper weight in the back for actually being able to go through heavy traction like that. Otherwise, you'd have to weight down the back of your truck with sandbags and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, because the trailer was heavier than the back of the truck. And that's, of course, anyone that's in snowy weather knows that doesn't really work very well.
Not where you want to be. Mm-hmm.
No. So, but anyway, it's just like Alberta weather. I've always joked about Alberta weather.
Yeah. As soon as you get into like the prairie area, like the middle of Canada, just make up your mind. What? Like, anyway.
So
this week in PoE.
This week in PoE was awesome, but the Path of Exile website doesn't have anything about it. They have
hold on. Let's just say,
what's up?
Path of Exile 2 website. It's updated. Nice job. You can buy on it now. It's got the stuff.
Yeah.
So nice.
It was interesting to see the transition because obviously that was one thing that frustrated me last week or disappointed me, I guess I should say.
Yeah, we brought it up
because I'm just I've discovered how much of a fan of GGG
Just
that
excited.
I am this week. I am. I want them to do well. And so throughout the week, I kept checking the Path of Exile 2 website, hoping for updates and things like that. And eventually, they started putting the stuff from the from the early access announcement on the website and updated things, and it was great. But have you gone on mobile yet? Have you tried
It's
it?
fixed.
Good. Okay, because when they were going through and updating it, I was checking on my phone while I was walking the dog one time, and it was all screwed up. And I was like, "Oh no! I hope this isn't their only update." I didn't realize they were going to be updating it throughout the week. Like they did multiple updates on it, so it's good.
Working very well on mobile. There's a couple things that need to be fixed, like you can't swipe along the gem system stuff, but otherwise, super improvement on the Path of Exile 2 website. So good, and emails for early access keys went out, which we crapped a little bit last week on them for that, and I understand both sides of it. I understand our side. I understand the side of like they needed to get stuff together. My comment last week when I was talking to Tyler too afterwards was just don't tell people then while you're figuring it out and then announce it, but
or have totally different wording for like you don't have access as opposed to something like.
But they're out, they're done. Site
please be patient
amazing.
while we figure out access.
100%. Yep.
Yeah, and that was one of the frustrating things for me this week, just from a customer service standpoint, because I was at that awkward threshold where I have no idea. Like if I had spent the threshold for a free key, I wouldn't be surprised. But if I hadn't spent the threshold, and so the wording along with the delay, I mean, now that the keys have gone out and answers are there, it's a little bit easier to be a little bit less frustrated as a customer. But when throughout that process, it wasn't fun, but it is nice that with the Path of Exile 2 website, it keeps you on the Path of Exile 2 page. It was interesting to see the transition. Like you would go from like you'd click shop and it would just direct you to the Path of Exile 1 shop.
That doesn't do it anymore.
You know what I mean? No, now it keeps you on the Path of Exile 2 site, which is nice.
Awesome.
One thing I was hoping for, because
not the forum stuff, but
no. And I am looking forward to that changing over too. Hopefully that's available for early access, because it'd be nice to create a thread.
They kind of need that too, where you can talk about Path of Exile 2 related stuff.
And just PoE 2, right? So whether they're going to amalgamate the websites, I don't think they will now that they're keeping them separate games. But I've had people asking me about my builds and filters. And I'm like, well, I would, but I'm not going to be posting any of that on the PoE 1 website. And even though there's not, I think it's kind of silly to have guides right now, because 100%. It's all about
why would you have a guide
feedback to GGG. It's not about it, right? And you want to learn the game. It's not about like
trying to decimate it every day.
Right.
That would be so much work.
But I thought it would be fun to have a what I'm playing now build. Right. And so then it would be fun. But I need the PoE 2 website for that. But
the Path of Exile 2 website actually looks great. Like I have to say, I'm just going through it again. There are some parts of their websites that they did it well in PoE 1, but like the moving characters in the shop where you're looking at buying them, like it's little things, but they are so cool. They're really well done. So I'm happy it's updated. It looks fantastic.
Unfortunately, they spoiled, unless they were just template names, which I don't think, but they spoiled what the other classes are going to be.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because you can just hover over the icons and it tells you what the image name is.
There weren't too many surprises in there though. Like we already knew they had a huntress, that we saw it.
Marauder, some of them are
Templar,
regurgitated in a way from PoE 1, Gladiator.
Gladiator and Druid, I'm excited for more.
It's fine. I want to go in knowing as little as possible.
I know nothing.
You know what I mean?
I literally know nothing. So I'm excited for it. We made it was a great idea in Discord. Somebody said, let's make a PoE 2 channel so that people can talk in there. So
agreed. Yeah. It is a good idea. So now that things have calmed down for GGG and they've been able to catch up, I have now had a couple.
What we can see. It's probably chaos right now.
But and none of those criticisms, just by the way, are to like customer support specifically. Like when I'm talking about customer service, I'm talking about like if I was a secret shopper and I was reviewing GGG as a company, like the global customer service experience, right? Where you're getting your information from and how you're getting it and how it's communicated or not to you. All like the whole.
I want to talk to customer service, Rory.
Hey, But I want to thank Rory, Will, Brittany. They were able to respond to me this week with some specific responses to my, like, it was no longer copy and pasted. I did. He was one of the three. Rory. It was great. Yep.
Love Rory.
Thank you. Superstars. So I received confirmation. So I'm in a situation where I am in that perfect, like, I'm that exact person for account merging. I don't know how many of us there are, but account merging is for me and people like me. 50% of my PoE time is on Xbox, 50% on console. So now I know those separate accounts stay separate when it comes to earning an access key. I haven't earned one yet. Don't know if I will on Xbox, but I did earn one on PC. So that was nice. So after a tiny bit of emailing, I've discovered that my early access key that I earned on PC can only be used on PC.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right. But I wasn't sure because they're doing the cross-platform.
Yeah.
Right. So I didn't know because now my accounts are merged. Okay, so yes, it's a Steam key, but once I load the game, would I be able to load Xbox and then play it? But I have received confirmation. So if there's anyone else in my shoes as well, hey, look, somebody might learn something from this podcast. If you're in my shoes as well.
They're like, they said this 12 days ago.
That's right. But so my Steam key, of course, is only going to work in Steam, but I don't have the ability to download early access on the Xbox unless I already have purchased a key. So the keys are separate.
Okay.
If I want to play on Xbox,
you have to buy
I have to buy an Xbox key.
Right.
If I want to play on computer, I have to have a computer key. But, and this is because I'm an Xbox player, not a Sony player, I will be able to, and they are going to have cross-platform available right at launch. So once I have both keys, I can just keep the same character on play on either platform.
So you can start on PC. If you buy the key later on Xbox, you can just continue to play that character. Oh, that's awesome.
Correct.
That's cool.
Yeah, and that'll be nice because Erin's actually quite excited about early access as well. That's my wife for any new listeners. And so she's looking forward to playing. But Justin, unfortunately, has converted her to be a PC snob. So,
smart.
Yeah. So she'll be monopolizing the computer when we both have the time, but I'll be able to do early access league launch if you're free next week at around 11 a.m. our time.
Is that when it comes out on December 6th?
Yeah. That's actually one thing they still need to add. I have
to not planned well. I have to say, I plan better for league launches than it's not a good thing. Anyway, continue.
Are you free?
I have an 8 o'clock. So as long as I can get out of that.
That's going to last 2 hours and 59 minutes.
It's going to have to less than that because I got to get home. I'll make it. I am going to make sure I'm on. So I'm very excited to play.
Tobe Secret and I were talking this week and we both couldn't remember what the start time was. And so we went to double check and they just naturally, we just went and double check and then to let each other know. They went to the PoE1 website. I went to the PoE2 website and only the PoE1 website had a countdown.
Oh, for when it comes out. Oh, yeah, that should be
on the PoE2 website. It only says the day. It doesn't say the time.
Yeah.
Either way, whatever. That can get fixed easy. But I went to go check out, like, because I was doing the notes for this week, and I'm like, yeah, let's see what the little hints and teasers. I saw lots of tweets, or not lots, but a few tweets from GGG this week.
Oh, I haven't.
Little pictures and stuff like that. And and that's all good. They didn't have those on the website.
What do you mean?
In their
like
forum
updates? Oh, like in the FAQ
like I would
thing?
have had to go. I mean, I know we have an update thing in our Discord, but I was surprised that they weren't on the website. So I guess maybe things.
Don't they have an FAQ thing?
They have an FAQ, but that doesn't sort of show like recent posts. Right. They used to have, and maybe they just unpinned it by accident. But they used to have like a thing.
Yeah.
But it wasn't there, and I wasn't going to scroll through it. So.
Are you looking into all of that stuff? Like, I don't want to see
when GGG puts it out. It's different. I still think I'm ignoring it though. Like I saw them put up some like wanted pictures.
That was cool. I saw it in Discord.
And
somebody put your face
on it. I
didn't
read them all, but I saw them. And then there was, of course, our community was having a great time.
Yeah, I saw that one with your picture on it. It was awesome.
My face. Yeah, thank you, Corsic. That was hilarious. But it was, like when those came out, I was like, oh, do I want to?
Did they have any information on them? I only saw the witch one. I only read the witch one,
actually. And then that ended up being the one that was modified for me in Discord as well.
When you say you read it, sorry, I didn't actually read it. What was the information in the reading?
They're like wanted posters that would be posted in town about your character.
Oh, that's cool. But it's not, that's not really spoiling anything, right? Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, So here's what I was thinking. Like, and this isn't something I was gonna watch the reveal. Right, it was gonna happen, and I was gonna do the Q&A. Like, who knows what it's gonna spoil or not? But and so I'm not disappointed that I saw that, of course. But I know I'm gonna play early access no matter what. Imagine if they, for whatever their reasons were, didn't do Endgame or didn't show Endgame. They just said, like, it's going to be big. It's going to be great. Returning players, stick around. It's going to be worth it. Imagine if you knew nothing about Endgame. And then as you're playing, you get to Endgame and that's what you see. Like this crazy new world and everything. Like your brain would explode. It would have been so cool to have that revealed to you in the moment as you're playing. Obviously, I'm not disappointed that I saw it because
that happened where it doesn't get spoiled by somebody, but I do understand what you're saying.
So like, just like that, I'm kind of like hoping for as much of that as possible. So we're a week away. I think the only thing I want to do now is Ascendancies. Like we've been talking about that since the dawn of time, but that's the only thing that I think I'd be willing to look at now before early access.
Oh, see, I'm hoping I get to learn about that in the character selection. That's what I'm going to be looking forward to.
I hope so too.
Hoping that's when I get to find out a little bit more about them. I couldn't even tell you the names of the Ascendancies. I know we saw them in the reveal. I don't even remember them. I haven't looked back at them. Like I am. There were a couple good comments in our Discord that were very much aligned with the way that I was thinking. I think Sid was one of them, and I can't remember somebody else that I read posting about. Just you get to experience the game the first time once, and I want to. I'm very much excited for that. I remember it with PoE 1, and PoE 2 is monstrously bigger, and my excitement to play it is infinitely higher than PoE 1 because PoE 1 was just a filler game because a buddy told me about it. Whereas this one I'm like actively been excited for a long time. So I can't wait. I haven't seen anything. I've read Discord, but I don't pay attention to the PoE 2 stuff. I've just skipped over it. But it's going to be fun.
It is. Hey, have you bought a pack yet?
I have not. I have been debating. I think what I'm probably going to get is the $100 pack because I like the freaking hideout. The moving hideout is like the best to me. That's better than the turtle hideout. But I haven't yet. Why do you ask?
Turtle hideout's pretty rad.
It is rad, but the moving hideout, like through the desert,
pretty cool.
Yeah. Why do you ask? Have you?
Well, because I was curious. Like, I remember seeing like there's beta supporters and core supporters, and they have badges for that from when PoE first came out.
Yep.
I was surprised that they didn't have beta badges for this set.
Do badges get? Do you know the badge when you buy a pack? Oh yeah, you do.
Did. Like, and you can hover over them to see what each badge was. And I was looking because I was originally just going to buy the $30 pack, right, just for Xbox, right. So that I could play on either platform. But then I'm like, well, it kind of sucks. Like, it doesn't come with a badge or anything. Like, all it is early access. That's all it is. And then so basically
the main one,
right. And you get your 300 points too, but there's nothing. Like, I was like, oh man, like I really wanted a beta badge. That'd be cool. So I'm like, oh, all right. Well, let's check out like what the $60 pack is because then you get it. But it has badges, but they're not beta badges.
Yeah, they're specific to that title of the supporter
pack.
Right.
So they're just like every other support pack, with the exception of you get an actual beta key. But
it's the Kiwi for me, buddy. It's the Kiwi. That's what I want.
But it's still one of those things where it's like, it's beta. Like, it's a new game. It's not an update like it was originally planned in a way. It's not as well as it's a new game. And so I was kind of looking forward to being able to have my own beta patch.
They could always add.
I guess. I mean,
they don't call it beta though. They call it early access. So is it different? Maybe
beta's a beta.
This is going to be. I am really curious. Like, I am completely hopeful for them as a company, but this launch is going to be insane for them. Like, astronomical numbers that they've never ever seen.
They've already said that they said that their expectations were high.
Yeah.
And they said that they've already received way more keys than they expected to sell.
What's the line that we laughed about that they said so many times that you guys were laughing? I think you and Aaron, where they were.
Well,
what
yeah,
was
we
the
were
line?
saying it
What
in
was the
like a
line?
disappointing way,
I know,
but it
what was
was
it?
the word was underestimated.
Yeah, we underestimated. Which I'm gonna
People
guess
would
they
be
probably
like
did.
dead. They would die from drinking. They'd just surpass drunk and just go to dead.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful for them.
That's a great thing to underestimate, though. Not under plan for, but
Sure.
if you still can handle the numbers, what a wonderful surprise. You know what I mean? To know that your game title is out there that much. Like going back to when we were talking about like the different articles coming across as our news feed, it's crazy the different people that are trying to get their clickbait on this because it's
what would you be
just such a
clickbaity
big
about?
title.
What would be the thing?
Everything you need to know about early access, Path of Exile 2 ascendancies, find out here, release date, find out everything we know. And it's like,
It's a big story.
You know, like what we were talking about with Logan. Yeah, but it is. It is. And, you know, the amount of people that are comparing it to Diablo or Last Epoch. And it's one of those things, again, where I kind of laugh at myself. I'm like, you don't compare those games. Like when you have an itch, both of those games don't scratch that same itch.
Not
or
the same
like
one.
all three. You know what I mean? They're just that different. Sure, they're in the same genre per se, but if you're in the mood for something that Diablo can scratch, PoE won't scratch it. And if you're in the mood for something PoE can scratch, Diablo can't touch it. So I always laugh at the amount of comparisons there are. It's almost like Path of Exile, the only competitor it has is time. You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to do with your spare time? I could play PoE, or I could read a book, or play
their
Netflix,
competition
or
is
chat with
themselves.
My family. It is like, and not saying like, sure, like sometimes people still have to choose like, okay, am I going to play, like, which game am I going to commit to because I only have so much time in life? But I don't really think there's a game that also scratches the same itches that Path of Exile scratches.
There was one thing that I completely forgot to bring it up last week just because there were so many other things we were talking about, but I was just going through their supporter packs right now. And one thing I want to give them credit for, because I don't think I've ever heard them say or do this before, but when they talked about the supporter packs, Jonathan was very I can't think of the word, but he made it very clear to make sure people understood that you can upgrade. Don't feel like you need to buy the biggest pack if you can't afford it, that you can always upgrade to them later. I don't think I've ever heard him so well, if they've ever even pointed that part out. And I thought that was awesome because it doesn't give people that feeling like they have to buy it right now at the biggest price. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's that you're thinking of the customer. There was a lot this week where I felt like, and this is again prior to getting the beta keys, prior to getting email responses, there was a lot that happened from a lot of different angles as a customer where I felt like the customer was not considered when they were making these decisions and applications and wordings and stuff like that and how things work. But now that things are following together, you can tell that that's obviously not what they wanted to do. Their heart is very customer first. And so I really hope that this is a big learning experience for them, of course, because people always learn from everything. But when the game officially launches, I really hope they nail it from a customer first perspective. And I'm sure they will. I really hope so. And I really like when you say stuff like that, I think it's really, there are a couple other things that I can say that match up with that, but your facial expression, go ahead.
They have payment plans. I didn't know that. They offer people the opportunity that if they can't afford it to reach out and they can do Okay, that's cool. That's
you didn't know that? Yeah,
I didn't know that. No, that's really, I've never seen them promote that anywhere. I've never seen them tell people that that's a thing.
I don't know if it's ever been in the videos, but it's in the text.
On the Path of Exile 2 website. Like, that's amazing. Cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Sorry, that's what my face was for. I had no clue.
No, it's great. And even when you listen to things like the Q&A that I just finished last night, it's I love how candid they are, and I love how they really are trying to make this a customer first experience or a user first game type of thing. So I really hope they nail the customer first experience when the game officially launches. I guess when early access officially launches as well. I mean, the website's going to be a big deal for that.
I hope that they have a bug report thing in the game.
That would be nice.
Where you can actually type out stuff in the game.
Yeah, that would be nice. Well, yeah, we'll see. How do you do that on console?
I don't care.
One thing that I did learn from the Q&A, though, and I think you will want to hear this beforehand.
Don't spoil anything for me.
It's regarding the 36 ascendancies. They were talking about some of the ascendancies that are released and aren't and things like that. And then kind of a generic mentality towards them. And they are keeping them as generic as possible. All 36. In the
sense, like when you say generic, do you mean like how we've talked in the past where you feel like if you want to play this skill, you have to go that way?
Yes. So they're giving each ascendancy specific things that make that ascendancy what it is. You saw they had the ascendancies in the video, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you know about
I don't remember the
ascendancies.
Yes, no, there's a blood one and fire, maybe.
Sure. Okay, so in one of them you can turn into a demon, in one of them you can stop time, and one of them, like those are epic things that you can only do with that ascendancy, but they're not specific to the skill that you have. Right.
Yeah.
So, then they're trying to keep that for all 36.
That's tough, man, though, to do it for all of them.
I'm glad it's their problem. But
seriously.
I mean, in the past, they have done nothing but impress us with their ability to be creative and come up with new ways to do things. And one of the things I think that really impresses me with that type of creativity is when you come up with the ideas and you're part of those meetings, and then you come up with, okay, this is the way it's going to be. It's so tough for me specifically to now think outside that box. You know what I mean? Once the box has been made, this is the way things are going to be. It's so tough for me to get outside that box and think about a new way to reconstruct the box. You know,
we talked about that with Rishi, like that struggle to create the skills and figure out the notables and.
Yeah, but he just said, it's no problem at all.
Yeah, the way that their brains think is completely different than ours. Yeah. It's funny. I remember the part of that conversation being like, you guys haven't run out of stuff? And he's been like, nah, we barely scratched it.
Hell no, that's right.
Yeah.
Another thing that and this kind of goes back to your bug reporting thing, however it's done. Hopefully the website's ready to go, but I'm really looking forward. Well, yes, because it's the beta or early access and the opportunity to provide feedback with their, I guess you could say, new open-mindedness, because the game's capable of having them being open-minded, and they are open-minded, right? About so many different changes and improvements. So I'm really looking forward to being able to provide feedback. Sure, I'm just one person out of the hundreds of thousands that are going to play, but I'm looking forward to having those posts possibly mean something. Whereas in the past, it wasn't that they were falling on a hard heart per se, but they were falling on into circumstances where it's like half the time they're just going to have to shrug their shoulders and be like, well, that's PoE 1. Like, we can't change it.
Yep.
So I am looking forward to having the ability to provide feedback, right? First thing you and I are both going to do is, if the character creation screen doesn't have the opportunity to expand into ascendancy previews,
I'll text you so you can send in a note.
Yeah, that's right. Justin and I both think. That's right. So, but it's going to be a very exciting week. I mean, the next time we talk to anybody in podcast form outside of Talkative Try, the early access will be out.
I don't even know how we're going to record next week. Somehow we have to stop playing to record, because we'll have played Path of Exile 2 early access by next week. By the time we record next week, normally we would be recording right before when it releases. Obviously, we will not be doing that. Can you imagine? Episode 270 is just us going like, oh, I'm really excited. In 2 hours, we're going to play. See you next week.
Right. Yeah, no. Yeah, well, Friday will be busy, but it'll be a good busy. Hopefully you're able to
have to
get
fall
out of
into
your
Saturday for us to record. We'll have to see.
Whatever works for you, my man.
Oh, I have birthdays that whole weekend. My daughter's birthday is that weekend, and there's parties happening. I remember Christine actually telling me, like, there's going to be girls all over the place. I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to be locked in my office playing a video game. Happy birthday.
Yeah. Well, you see, we're having a busy birthday weekend as well. We have some early December birthdays, and so you just catch that up. I think we're also doing our Christmas tree this weekend.
Ooh,
because it's one of those awkward times where my wife is very anti-November for Christmas. Like, you don't even know. Like,
yeah.
Like, I'm the kind of person where I don't care what time of year it is. I can hum a Christmas carol. I can watch
December.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
I don't care.
See, that's the way I've always been. Like, I can watch Elf in the middle of July. That's fine.
We watched Home Alone It was awesome.
There
Give
you
me
go.
Home Alone 2 any day. Home
Oh
Alone
my
2,
goodness.
man, with Marv and the bricks on the building is one of my favorite
Suck
scenes.
bricks, kid.
It's the one where he's getting hit by the bricks.
Yeah.
Just friggin' kills me because the suck bricks kid comes later, but that part where Harry keeps telling him, you gotta do better than that before Marv's just getting smacked in the face. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
My
You're
favorite
doing
quote
Christmas.
from that movie is when he falls down, Marv falls down through the floor, and he's like, looks up, he's like, wow, what a hole. Yeah,
it's so good.
There's that one's one of the best sequels I've ever seen. Like
100%.
how it's a totally different story, but the amount of tie-ins to the first movie that are done so well.
I love
it.
Like
is one of the best sequels.
Paint cans, and he's like, they pretend to walk up the stairs, and they're like, oh, right in the schnoz. And they're like, that's 2. Let's go. Then they get hit. They're on the ground. They're like, that's 3.
It is.
Sorry,
really
I didn't
good.
mean to get into this. Like, what?
No,
anyway,
man, that's a good.
so you guys are doing the tree. That's cool.
Yeah, and the reason, like, my kids are excited. Of course, they don't have the same silly rules that adults make, and so my wife's a December only. But I was able to swing it with her for this week because if we don't do it this week,
when are you
right?
gonna do
Like,
it?
and the very beginning of the week is going to be December.
Yeah, that
but
counts.
if we don't do it this week, next weekend you're
they have to
already
do it
like
all by
only
themselves. Like you.
That's right. Although I was saying like you're already like almost 2 weeks to Christmas.
Do you guys do real
point.
tree or fake tree or
No, fake tree.
Yeah.
And but I mean, so they're going to be doing the Christmas tree. I'm going to be going out for a birthday lunch, and then but you know what? I can slack off during the week all the time now because my robot vacuum can do the dishes for me.
Yeah, it does everything.
That's right. Yeah,
that's cool. Well, that's fun.
It's pretty crazy that we're finally here. Like
we're here.
Even if you go back to the disappointment of ExileCon 2, and I'm sure everybody really enjoyed their experience, but I'm just talking about, you know, what people were expecting or hoping for versus what the announcement was for.
Mm-hmm.
And to finally be here. Like, I know this isn't the official game release, but
this
to people like you and me,
yes,
it is to you and I, right? Or you and me, it's exactly what it is.
Their official release will not be bigger than this. There's no way it's bigger than this.
In terms of hype or in terms of like numbers?
Both. There is no way the official release is bigger because the official release is more beneficial to the person who hasn't played. And now they go, hey, that's a free to play game. Cool. This is like to every individual human that has ever just loved and played Path of Exile or the ARPG genre. This is $30 to get in. Sure. I just don't think the official release could be bigger than this early access.
You got me thinking about that $100 pack. Don't tell my wife.
Yeah. Earmuffs, Aaron.
How many? Yeah, that's right. Schmoops.
It's only the third pack.
I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah. Just checking.
Oh, the Path of Exile 2 website doesn't have the video.
It has the cool person like hanging
just standing there, but they don't have the video. They don't have the video. Click on.
I know that is actually
I have to go to the first website. Come on, guys! Like, good job and stuff, but come on, top left, Path of Exile.
Good job, guys, but
come on,
Ty's really trying this episode. We got to give him some credit.
Yeah, see, there's the link for the video, and it's all like.
What are you trying to check out in the video? That amazing.
I want to see the hideout.
Oh, it's so cool. I don't even.
Is it the like caravan? Is that what the hideout is?
Yep, it is.
No, I don't like to swear, but motherfucker.
The commemorative Oh no, not that one. The dreadnought.
$100 American.
The dreadnought hideout. Don't do the conversion. Don't do the conversion.
I am right now. I'm asking.
It's not
Googs.
good. Oh, it's going to be high. My guess is 140.
Dude, I'm talking to someone else right now. Shut your face.
You can't talk to someone else while talking to your ear?
No, I can't. When somebody's talking in my ear, I'm taking off my headphones. Get out of here. Don't talk to me.
He actually took his headphones off.
I can hear you still. Stop it. Oh man, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. Now that's what it's answering me. It's saying like, oh yeah, you can. I'm sorry if I'm talking so loud.
You could just open up the internet and just
What's
check.
the American Canadian version for $100 American today?
Oh, no wonder his AI can't understand him. That is the weirdest way to ask that question ever. It's like 14 too many words. Look how long this is taking him. I'm just going to open this up. USD to CDN. Oh my God, I got to teach Tyler some things. $100 is going to be $140.02. I was freaking bang on. Nice job, me.
Okay, headset's back on. Shut your face, Justin. Also, I forgot our dollar tanked because of Trump's tariff threats.
Well, it's just the way the markets work. Yep.
It is, but I mean, we're
in a reactive time right now, so it's going to hurt.
So yeah, it dropped. So today it's $140 for 100
That's what I said. That's what I guessed. Yep.
Was it? Good for you. I didn't hear it, so it's not official.
You did have your headset on at the time. You just weren't paying attention. Yeah, I know that the conversion hideout sucks. Well, the Kiwi pet.
The bell pet is what I like.
The bell? What's the bell? I can't see it in there.
It comes in the $60 pack.
Oh, the little guy. Yeah. The only other thing I liked was, I don't even remember which one it was. It's probably way up to the 240, but was that massive bell that like slams down on people, or the big stone. I don't remember if it was a stone thing, because I really do like the Warlord of the Karui supporter pack, but we're at Christmas time. And
really?
240 American dollars is like 7,000 Canadian. So I got to focus on Christmas right now.
Yeah, no, I hear you. The nice thing for me, and I don't mean this offensively, it's just not my cup of tea, is the MTX don't actually interest me.
On what?
Like, I'm not tempted by any of the character armors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm the same way.
None of them are my style. That's just for me. But so it makes it choosing easy. But then when you remind me about the hideout.
Yeah, that's why I like the 100. It's a good one to work up towards for me, because I don't need it right away. I'm certainly not going to be in a hideout position for a bit. So I'm not in a rush for it.
You don't get early key. You don't get an extra key until the $160 pack.
Then you get two, yeah.
Yep. You get a second one.
Mm-hmm.
And then the $240 pack, you get two extras.
Having the extra keys is going to become very quickly not the reason you buy but not even a benefit, because you're not going to have anybody to give the key to. Everyone's going to have a key.
Well, in our group of buddies, I think Chris wouldn't mind having a key, but this game doesn't interest anyone else besides Chris or Josh, I don't think.
No, and Josh will buy it. He'll have his key. Like he'll spend the money to play. So like, I think eventually keys will just be like, anybody?
Yeah, right. Well, if that's you, again, like, we're not trying to steal it. Justin and I can only use the one key personally. So like,
get on our Discord and hit that button.
I'm lucky enough to have one, so we're giving them away until we run out. But if we keep getting more, like if you need to get rid of a key, feel free to use us.
And this is a tough time of the year for people, so that's why we wanted to do it. That's why the
people are donating so kindly.
Is like super awesome, and it's super nice that people are doing it. And I love the fact that people within our Discord have just created their own thread for people looking for keys. So if you are part of that community and want to take advantage of people's I shouldn't say take advantage of people's kindness, but that is what I'm meaning. You know, there are a lot of kind people out there, and they're willing to help. So nobody
take advantage.
Should not be playing Path of Exile 2 early access that wants to play early access. So if you are one of those people, get in our Discord, say hi.
Theta had a really funny comment. I totally agree with it, because there's, $30 is $30, right? And so there was somebody that was humming and hawing in our Discord about whether they should put it towards Path of Exile 2 or just wait for the full launch and put $30 towards another game that they're excited for. And so then Theta and Talon and others were saying, hey, no, like they're doing key giveaways and stuff like that. Like, hey, you could always do that, if you get that, you can get both. But I think it was Theta that said nobody should be Path of Exile 2-less.
Yeah, it's true. Yep.
It is.
And if you really want to play, we will find a way. So come on in Discord, and like there are so many good people out there that are willing to help. And I would say, if you're the type of person that's debating $30 versus real life, that should never ever be. Don't spend the $30 on the game. If you're debating $30 between games, get out of here. It's Path of Exile 2 early access. Name a game that is better. I dare you.
Drox Operative 2.
Nope. Not even close. Great game.
I was able to recommend that game because I forget who in Discord was looking for good co-op games until PoE 2 came out.
That was fun.
Drox is a phenomenal co-op game.
Yeah.
PC only. But I still wish I got a badge. I want the beta badge.
Yeah. I must have mine.
A Lord of Ogham pack badge.
What is this badge you talk
about? Or the King of Barad-dûn.
Ooh, my computer just defaults to Path of Exile 2's website now. Nice job.
Yeah.
How do I see what badge you're talking about? I must have whatever you're talking about. How do you see badges?
On the actual
verifying
website.
that I'm human. Yeah.
Actually, that is one. Ever since the
beta
merger,
supporter. I have that. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
something like that.
They should have an early access supporter. I agree.
100%.
I mean, everyone will have one.
You know what's funny? I was talking about my son being sick yesterday and today.
Mm-hmm.
So I was listening to music, whatever, while in my headphones while he was doing stuff. And I was just enjoying, doing the chores best that I can. And then he asked if I could play what I was listening to on the, on the Google Home speakers. And I'm like, well, I'll have to change it up a little bit because I just finished watching Dangerous Minds the other night from the 90s or early 2000s. Oh, 100%.
That's awesome.
It was like Bone Thugs. Anyway, so it was awesome. I'm like, oh, well, you can't listen to this one. And so, but I put on Grit. They sound like they're a wicked rap. I absolutely love them. And a lot of people are familiar with some of their songs, but they're Christian rap. So I didn't have to worry about the lyrics, even if I hadn't heard the song. But it was awesome. I was like listening to what sounded like, Notorious B.I.G. with my kid all day. It wasn't, of course, none of it was explicit. So it was good, but it was quite funny.
You get the non-explicit versions of all the songs.
I'm not going to double check to make sure. Do you know how unreliable Google is?
Spotify is really good for that.
Yeah, we don't have Spotify. What was I going to say? One thing that I did want to let you know, not like it matters, but, just chatting, is, that thing you were waiting for me for? I just need to finish posting something before we start recording today. Mm-hmm. On my thread, I posted that I'm not going to be supporting the thread anymore.
You said that before.
No, because I'm moving on to PoE 2.
Yeah.
So I said, like in the post, I explained, and I put up like the most recent version of the build that I'm absolutely loving. But I said, like, hopefully this build still works past 325, but I'm, put up the most updated version of this build for you in case 325 does last until February or longer. And if 326 doesn't change the build, then it'll last even longer than that. But I'm not going to be checking or replying or doing this thread anymore from this point forward. I'm PoE 2 only.
Well, I guess we'll see.
With the exception, like,
months.
I think I might keep the.
Awesome.
Well, no.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
The filters. GGG does a horrendous job for filter creators at letting people know what's up. You know what I mean? So if I don't stay up to date with my filter, league after league, it is such a massive pain in the butt to go back to other filter posts and try and add it because there's not enough information there. So I need to keep up with that league by league. Only until I know exactly how PoE 2 is and like that kind of filter situation, I will keep up with my filters, but I won't be playing Path of Exile 1 to test them out or anything like that. Just make sure they work and then move on.
Cool.
So, yeah. Besides that, but yeah, that was kind of a big deal because I've had that thread or that thread leading to another thread since 3.0.
Mm-hmm. You have also before said you weren't gonna. You tried to take a break from it and you ended up going back into it.
A little bit, yeah, I did. I tried to word it in a way where it's like, this is a build, it's not a guide. So figure out your problems by yourself, but I'll answer a question if it needs to be answered. So I tried to go forward with that. And then only have the one post as opposed to not being able to handle all my theory crafting.
Yeah, I remember when you put them all together.
4 or 5.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, it was just one and it's actually worked out well.
End of an era.
For me, it is.
Time to start a new one.
Moving on to PoE 2. I remember when ExileCon first came out, like when it was first announced. Yeah. Path of Exile 2. I was thinking then, like, okay, is it only going to be 6 months or a year of this?
Yeah. Should I even bother keeping up this thread?
Yeah. I remember that. I remember even posting about it and people asking about it. Of course, it's been like 5 years now, but yeah. So I just finished posting that and then I'll change the title and tweet out about it for people that follow.
Cool.
For the 3 people.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm really stoked. This is last week, man.
This is
next time.
This is the make sure you watch end Dark. I mean, we haven't even talked about Path of Exile 1 because why bother? This is it. We're going to be Path of Exile 2 next week. That's so exciting. We're finally here. It's really cool, actually. It is really cool. And I am excited for them. I really hope it goes smooth and good luck to them this week leading up to it because it's going to be stressful as shit in that place. So good luck to Grinding Gear Games. We wish you the best. Let's wrap this up, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. Forever Exiled 269. I'm Justin, AK Tags.
And I'm Tyler, Wrecker of Days.
So late with that, whoever tried it. Patreon. No, what do I? Well, shit, you did get me. What do I do? If you're looking for more information, you'll. No. Do I do that one first? Yeah. If you're looking for more. Patrons will see you in After Dark. Everybody else will see you next week in the greatest episode ever of 270 once we've played and everybody's played and awesome stuff. If you're looking for more information, you'll find it down below. We got a website, foreverexiled.com. Discord's very fun. Get in there and say hi. We got some key giveaways going on. And Patreon, Other Way Support the Podcast, you'll find them down below. I did it.
Was it like a nude pic or something that you got?
Somebody just did a ding dust. That's it.
And it was the
didn't
ding
even
that
look
got
at
you.
It. Yeah, well, I tried to pretend like
Hang
it
on,
didn't
let's
throw me
shout
off.
them out then. Hang on. Who is it? New 2. Way to go. You
also,
got
spoiler,
Justin.
New 2 is the one who wins the After Dark key giveaway.
Oh,
Spoiler. Congrats, New 2.
Wow, congrats,
we'll be talking
New
about
2.
that in After Dark. Anyway, thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Where's that stop button? There it is.